It's your boy in show, but you already know. I'm here with part of the squad. It's your boy
Kienuwa. What up, though?
Yeah, he's big cousin. And you know, simple sit down like we did last time, just new guests, new fun. So, essentially, let's just go over. You are probably the biggest comic nerd I've ever known in my entire life. And I mean, that's really not a bad thing. Let's keep it a buck. It's really not a bad thing, right? At this
I've
point,
been living my life for however long now.
Right. So, get into how it started, how it's progressed, where you're at now, some of your favorite comics. Let's just hit me up. Let me know. Let them know. Let them know.
All right. So, for me, as a kid born in the early '90s, '94 represent, I guess.
Sir, yeah.
It was the Batman the Animated Series to comic book pipeline, right? So, for everybody that is aware, Batman the Animated Series premiered 1992 or whatever. It's one of the greatest animated series, period, of all time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was lucky. I grew up watching that as it was coming out and reruns and all that. And something about it just spoke to me. Something about it just spoke to me. I remember one of my earliest memories is I got sick and I got took to the hospital because I was drinking medicine or something like that. Don't matter. But I was always getting into stuff because I thought I was Batman too. That was the thing.
Oh, yeah.
You know that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But no, I got sick. I went to the hospital and I'm watching the TV that they have up there. And at first it was playing Looney Tunes or something like that. But then, it hit me with the da-da-da-da. And then I just remember my little head all sick and everything, turning my head and seeing on the screen Batman just flying down, kicking some bad guys in the face.
Yes, sir.
One of my oldest memories. It's beautiful. It's amazing. From there, my love of Batman started.
Yeah. And
I just kept going after that. We were real lucky. So in that time period, you had Batman the Animated Series.
Yes, sir.
And then after that, it was Superman the Animated Series.
Okay.
And then they crossed over. And then from the crossover, we got the Justice League Animated Series. And y'all can see how it's going. And then bow down, Justice League Animated Series. If you have not watched it somehow, then you need to go watch it right now.
At this point, it's for
right
everybody.
now.
It's for everybody.
In fact, turn this video off and go watch it right now.
And then come back later. Come back.
But no, and then that's followed up by Justice League Unlimited. And I think that those are, it's cool because they boil down all of DC Comics into its best parts, really.
It's
and threw it all, right, and threw them all together. So comic books are tough because characters like Superman, Batman, Catwoman, Robin, they've all been around for 80 plus years now. So there was so much different mythology and everything associated with them, but with these animated series, they were able to boil these characters down to what makes them so great and amazing. And so that I'll say that's how I got into superheroes and by extension comic books, right? And then from superheroes, for the record, I work at a comic book store now because I'm a dork.
Yeah, it had to
happen. It was the natural progression of things. But from superhero stuff, then it just brought me to the world of comic books in general.
Right.
And comic books are by no means a monolith. A lot of people think comic books and they think, oh yeah, this is superhero stuff. This is superhero crap.
Not everything.
And it's not. It's not whatsoever. You got your sci-fi. You got your
Calvin and Hobbes.
You got your Calvin and Hobbes. You got your detective stories. You got queer love stories. You got anything you want is in a comic book, man. And it's such a unique medium, right? It's like you can do stuff in comic books that you can't do in any other stuff, right? So even though I love Batman the Animated Series and all Justice League and all that fun stuff and the live action crap, whatever. Comic books provide you with just a different palette to play with and everything like that. And it's really, really, really cool. And so, everybody check out some comic books. If you're not on Western comics right now, please do hop in there. There's so much cool stuff.
I mean, plug up.
Oh yeah, you go check out Volta Midnight Detroit. That is where I work. You can come see my handsome face. I'll give you some comic books to check out.
But you gotta pay for them. Sorry.
But you gotta pay for them. Yeah, no discounts neither. Unless, no. No discounts. Okay, but yeah, as far as like my favorite characters, storylines, as you can probably already tell, I'm a Batman man all the way through. Praise be to Bruce and all that. I'm not one of these dudes though who is like, oh, Batman can beat anybody at any time. He's got prep time, you know.
The prep time.
Batman
prep
beats
time.
Goku with prep time.
Yeah,
like I'm not one of those.
It's 59,000 specializations in martial arts.
First of all, on his utility belt, he already has anti-Saiyan foot cream. He's gonna kick Goku once in the face. No, none of that. But he is, I think, inarguably one of the greatest fictional characters of all time.
Easily.
And almost certainly one of the, I mean, he might be the most popular.
I mean, dude, he's like
time.
Either right above or right below Superman.
Well, no, he's right above. No, he's above Superman in comic book sales.
Oh,
he's above everybody in comic book sales. The only one who's ever rivaled him truly in the past like 50 years of comic books is Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Spider-Man and like
he just built different.
But
they're all just built different. Really.
This is true.
Yeah.
So yeah, Batman's my dude. But I love a lot of people. Daredevil, God bless. I love me some Wonder Woman when they do it right. They disrespect Wonder Woman way too much.
How'd you feel about the Gal Gadot?
So here's the thing. The first movie that they did, the one that was set in World War I, which was annoying because she's a World War II character. But they, you know, I think when the movie came out, they didn't want it to be too similar to Captain America: Winter Soldier.
I actually never knew that.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. You mean Captain America: The First Avenger?
The First Avenger.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I got you.
Which I understand, but they put her in World War I. That one was decent. That was pretty good actually.
Yeah, I like that.
Now, what we're not going to do is talk about Wonder Woman 1984.
I mean, I never saw it. I didn't even see it.
That's fine.
That's good. Now you can keep loving Wonder Woman.
I almost spontaneously combust. I can't believe the disrespect that they level upon this woman. Oh my goodness. But yeah, you got your Batman, you got your Daredevil, you got your Wonder Woman. I mean, I love Superman. Here's the thing about superheroes, right? Mm-hmm. I think the problem is a lot of times because they're not like your manga characters, they're protagonists and all that kind of stuff. They're super cool and everything, but they're different. They represent archetypes, right? And it's about a different type of heroism and all that kind of stuff. And I think that stems from a lot of things. I mean, the origins of superheroes, which we're not going to get into right now. I could talk forever about that too. But yeah, so I mean, all my favorite heroes, they all represent something, right? Batman represents the strength of human ingenuity, right? Our ability to overcome great hardship and grief to become something amazing, you know, and fight back against not just crime, because, you know, criminals, because, you know, whatever. That's not what it's really about. It's about overcoming crime itself. So crime, in this sense, means just bad things from happening to good people.
Yeah.
And Batman exemplifies that. But Superman, on the other hand, while Batman is full of human ingenuity, Superman is that symbol, right? He's
the symbol of peace.
Right, I mean, what does the S stand for? Actually, on my planet, it means hope. Yeah, that whole thing. But no, that's what he is. He's hope. He's a Christ figure, and it's a whole thing. When you do it right, it's amazing. It's fantastic. Green Lantern represents willpower, right?
Yeah.
Spider-Man, responsibility. It's right in the thing. Yeah, great power, there must come great responsibility. I don't know why I'm doing that accent.
Yeah, the accent you've been doing this whole time. You know what? Keep it going.
All right, okay. But yeah, that's part of why I fell in love with superheroes, because us as human beings, I'm about to get into some story stuff. Us as human beings, part of what makes us so amazing is our capacity for storytelling. And we see things that we don't understand, or we see concepts that we can't necessarily pin down specifically, and we write stories to explain said concepts, right? And that's why we're so amazing as human beings, right? Everything that we do is passed down through stories. And Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, all these guys are just reflections of the collective unconscious, right? And we're putting our hopes and dreams on these fictional characters to alleviate some of the intense pressure that we have on ourselves and our psyches, right? Batman can take some of that stress, right? Spider-Man, that's why man's is always struggling, is because he's taking part of our struggle
Yeah,
right?
literally.
And that's his responsibility, you know?
Right.
But yeah, you can probably tell I'm probably a bigger DC guy than I'm a Marvel guy, but I'm not playing favorites here. I just happen to like a bunch of DC guys.
You just get introduced to DC more so when you were younger.
Yeah, and they got Batman, so I mean...
it's hard.
All you gotta do is got Batman.
Yeah, Spider-Man is clean, no doubt about it.
God bless you, Peter Parker.
But he's not Batman.
He's not that man. He just not.
He not. It's unfortunate, but he's still cold.
He's cold. He cold.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so yeah, you got that. Shoot.
Oh
yeah.
While we're still on that topic,
please.
What are you thinking about when it comes to this new Flash movie?
So.
And we don't gotta get political. We ain't gotta get political.
Just
right,
hear me out. So look.
Go ahead.
I have no idea what to expect from the actual movie, but I am grateful that this is being used as a tool to start them over. Because they need that fresh start. I don't care what any of these weird Snyder people have to say, get over it. It's done, it's dead. It was garbage in the first place, but y'all got your chance. They made that 4-hour slog fest. Justice League crap. Sorry. I didn't mean. I'm not trying to attack nobody. No, I ain't trying to attack somebody. To be honest with you, I am a little bit. Man, yo, people make me sick. But I'm grateful that we're going to be able to be done with that and have a unified front moving forward with the DC movies. Nah, I'm gonna say that's go get political, and I'm not gonna get political or nothing like that. It is a bummer that homie that is starring in the movie is a lunatic.
Let's just keep it like that. Yeah.
I will not be paying to see the movie because of that. Does that mean I'm not gonna see it? No. I will be sneaking in to see that movie. Now, since we're on the topic though of these movies and everything, so a big thing that's come around in fiction in general in the past, like we'll say, really 6 years is. The concept of the multiverse.
Because of Avengers specifically. They introduced that when it came to the
well, no. So, yeah, okay. Fine, yeah.
Yeah, in the live action verse, not in the comics, stuff. Not in the animated
if we're
series.
Talking that, if we're talking comic books, DC actually was doing the multiverse way before everybody else.
Agreed.
You know, with the introducing Earth 2 and everything like that. And the multiverse itself is not a concept that I abhor on its own, but now it's become lazy storytelling. They have no faith in their actual characters anymore, and maybe they just think that there are no stories left. I disagree, but it's a hole that they fall into. All of these characters, their stories just end up being them meeting and fighting different versions of themselves or different versions of the villains that they, it's a whole thing. So that's what's happening in the Flash.
And I wouldn't even say specifically that it's them being lazy. It's them being punks.
No,
because it's okay for the top tier villains to run out and the hero to win, or it's okay for and to end that and start a whole new story. It's okay that sometimes the villains do win, and you have that, and then it ends.
Story. Don't y'all know how a story?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like basic story structure, but they don't want to do that.
They can't do it, and it's
all about money too.
Yeah. Let's say you have the big bad guy, right? The hero, does all that stuff, it gets to the point where they beat the bad, or they're supposed to beat the bad guy, and they don't. And they go through trials, tribulations after the defeat. Let's say they don't die. And then they go up against him again, and they lose again. And let's just say they die. Let's just say that happens. Sometimes the villain wins, right? But there's always going to be somebody else that comes around the scene. You don't always have to tell that story where the second person that inherits that will that comes up and tries to beat the bad guy. You don't have to always tell that story, but sometimes it is nice and sometimes it is well done.
I just wish that they would have more faith in actually telling character-driven stories as opposed to making story-driven characters. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, like, for example, I love Spider-Man. He's one of the greatest ever to do it. Literally. But in the Marvel movies that have been coming out, the MCU stuff, right? Spider-Man is mostly unrecognizable. He's cute. It's cute. It's a cute movie series, but Spider-Man is not himself. He's mostly a solo hero, and this is not to say that he shouldn't be interacting with everybody else in their universe. Yeah. But the fact that think about the first 2 of those movies, right?
The first two,
he's fighting his bad guys, the villains that he's fighting. It's not for him, and it's not to protect New York. It is Iron Man villains, right?
Except for the Vulture.
No, Vulture. The reason he was fighting the Vulture was because Iron Man took the Vulture's job, essentially. Remember?
I don't remember that. I do remember. What I remember is that the Vulture was upset because he didn't have the same funding that he was able to get previously, and so he started doing some more underground
because
stuff.
Of Iron Man.
Oh, there it is.
This is why. And even if that wasn't the case, his motivation is not the Vulture. It's not doing the right thing. It's not responsibility. It's about him trying to make himself look good for the so he can be an Avenger.
Because he made
for
his
little dad. Thing, Iron Man, which is just not something that would ever happen in the comic. This is not who Spider-Man is.
Yeah, literally.
And then the second movie, which is a complete nonsense movie, by the way, guys. It don't make any sense. We don't have to get into all that right now. We could do that a different day.
Yeah.
But his whole thing is he's fighting Mysterio, and Mysterio is a disgruntled employee of who?
Iron Man.
Iron Man, Tony Stark.
R.I.P.
Rest in peace, man. Everything's about Iron Man. They have no faith in Spider-Man, who's one of their greatest heroes.
Ever to do it.
You don't need Iron Man to boost him up. And then they still don't have enough faith in the individual Spider-Man character. So in the third movie, they bring in what? 2 other Spider-Men.
Literally.
The only reason, because that movie is middling at best, guys. I want to be clear on that. But people give it all this credence and everything like that.
I've only saw it once and enjoyed it once, and that's probably how it's gonna end.
As it should be, because what it is the hype. The hype of us. It's the meta hype of us seeing. Oh, Tobey Maguire's back. Of course, Tobey was my Spidey. I love that. So you see him come in.
Yeah.
Andrew Garfield came in.
But the reason I was really only good is because he literally stole the very first live-action Spider-Man villain ever to do it.
This is also true. Like he can't even get any villains of his own.
And he had
to get that dog crap beat out of him by the Green Goblin.
Green Goblin got that dog. He said, that was the best fight scene at home.
Thank you, Willem Dafoe.
Oh, he ain't never do it. He ain't never do what's wrong.
I'll tell you that because I was really feeling it when he beat on that little twerp. Oh man, I was rooting for the Goblin.
Yeah, I was like, hey, yo, beat him. And his spit was actually kind of clean because it was reminiscent of the animated series.
Yes, I'll say that. But
yeah,
I forgot what we were talking about.
We were talking about
the multiverse.
We were talking about how Spider-Man isn't as good as he should be.
What I was saying, that brings me to the Flash. They're doing the exact same thing with the Flash. Now, the Flash does not have the pedigree of Spider-Man, mind you. But he's never going to if we don't give him the opportunity. So you give him his first solo movie. I mean, this is not a solo movie.
It's not.
It's the Flash, another Flash from another universe, Batman of their universe, another Batman from 1989. You got Michael Keaton reprising his role, right?
Is he in there?
Yes!
I didn't see the trailer.
That's Old Man Keaton. Oh yeah, spoiler alert. Michael Keaton is another Batman in the Flash movie.
Ain't no way.
A Supergirl from another universe fighting Zod from
Flash?
In the Flash movie. This is what I'm saying to you. It's not a Flash movie, bro. It's just a hodgepodge of things that they think that people are going to react to.
I mean, we are going to react to it.
I am going to react to it. Of course, if I see Michael Keaton saying, I'm Batman, then I'm going to freak out. That's just, they're cheating. What they're doing is that they're cheating. And I don't appreciate it.
I'm not going to
tell a story. Just tell a goddamn story. And that's not to say there might be good stuff in there.
Right.
But I mean,
the Flash is cold. It's just you got to do him right.
Yeah, and I admit, I think that the Flash is tougher to do a decent story with, just because it's hard.
He's the fastest man in the world.
Like there's just really no excuse for this man to be losing. How are you losing?
Unless you're fighting against
another speedster, and they love that. Oh, you thought you were the fastest man alive, Barry? Not this time. Not ever.
Not ever.
Run, Barry, run.
And then the whole. So I'm not certain how accurate Godspeed truly is, but when they did it in CW,
the Flash show,
I was like,
Godspeed's
it's
ridiculous.
literally a clone of himself, but from the future.
It is?
That is in the past.
Godspeed?
Yeah.
That was Savitar's thing.
Savitar? Oh, that was Savitar.
Oh, I didn't know if they did it again with Godspeed. It wouldn't surprise me. That show.
Never mind. I could be wrong. It could be Savitar.
Okay, yeah. Savitar is He was a time remnant of himself.
But didn't he? Wasn't he actually Godspeed? Didn't he name himself Godspeed? You know, he got bones. But you can
take your time.
You can keep going. Yeah.
Yeah. So I say all this to say, I am happy that the Flash movie is happening because it's a tool for us to move forward, to move on to the next phase of hopefully good DC movie.
I take it back. It was Saboteur. Ignore me.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead.
Shoot. Yeah. And did you see like the new slate of movies that they announced for DC?
No, man. I personally don't understand. I don't really understand how DC is moving when it comes to the movies. So the last movie I saw was Wonder Woman. No, it was Aquaman. I didn't see Justice League. I have not seen it. I don't know. I know that it's...
Bless you. Bless you.
Apparently, I'm keeping my soul clean
You are.
by not watching it.
You go to hell. Instantly.
I didn't see... actually, no, I did. Batman vs. Superman, then Wonder Woman, and then Aquaman. Those are the last three that I've seen.
Batman versus Superman.
And I don't know what the verse is doing. I really have no clue.
Well,
I don't know what's
I'm telling you, that's what they're doing is that they're
saw,
ending it.
So they saw Spider-Man 3 and they were just like...
To be fair, the Flash movie they've been trying to make this Flash movie since before.
Is it like Flashpoint? Or
yes.
is it it's very
In fact, originally it was named Flashpoint, but then they let's not call it Flashpoint.
Right.
But it's still borrowing heavily from Flashpoint.
I mean, Flashpoint, the animated movie was
something else, yeah.
Oh, something else?
No, just crazy.
Oh,
not bad.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I like
Flashpoint
a little bit. It was crazy. It was very crazy.
Okay, well, since I'm here, DC books for you to check out if you are new to the DC game and you want to read their best stuff, okay?
Go for it.
Batman wise, you got to read Batman Year One. Read it. It's amazing. It's a noir, early Batman story, and it focuses just as much on Batman Bruce Wayne as it does Jim Gordon, and that's really, really cool. It's fantastic. Read that. Superman wise, you gotta read All Star Superman. It's the Superman story. You do, okay? And then Wonder Woman, her run from the New 52. So just type in Wonder Woman New 52. You'll figure it out.
Okay.
It's great, fantastic stuff. The George Perez stuff from back in the day is really good. But as for the DC universe as a whole, there's a few books you gotta read. So, Justice League, The New Frontier. The New Frontier is okay by Darwin Cook. He's an amazing cartoonist out of Canada. Rest in peace, he's dead. But he was fantastic and it's amazing. Please read that book. It's so good. Kingdom Come. Have you read Kingdom Come? I got it. You gotta borrow it. But yeah, Kingdom Come is amazing. It's a alt universe about an older Superman who's left the world of superheroing because the people have announced that they want, more intense heroes willing to kill people and everything like that. And Superman was like,
too much.
"Nah, bro, that ain't for me.
Yeah, wow.
I gotta go, cuz." But then he eventually has to come back because the next generation of heroes is going buck wild on the whole situation, and he's got to bring himself back.
But they on murder game.
Murder, yeah. It's like the children and everything of our modern leaders and all that kind of stuff, and they are not doing it right. It becomes a superhuman arms race essentially. And Superman brings back the old guard, and he's like, "Come on, guys, we got to bring it together." Ha! And it's so good. It's fantastic. It also has stellar art. It's written by Mark Waid, and it has stellar art by my brain's not working. Oh my goodness. By Alex Ross. That was crazy. I apologize. But yeah, check those out if you're into the DC stuff, okay? We'll talk more about Marvel stuff later because we gotta get to some to some manga, right?
Yeah, we got it. Hey, because he made that transition quite clearly, y'all. He did Batman, the animated series, the Batman comics in general with DC, and then comics overall, and then he hit the manga. Appreciate Kienuwa coming in. He came in, took time out of his schedule to run the ones with y'all.
Yeah.
And if you got any comments, leave them below. If you got any things that you want to know about from him, I mean,
I got lots of knowledge, so ask away.
Yeah, if you want to plug, he plugged. Plug again where you work.
Baltimore Midnight. Just in the Detroit area. Check it out.
And then you also have one in Grand Rapids.
Grand Rapids and Ann Arbor.
Ann Arbor.
So yeah, if you're looking for comic books, manga, the like, just check out one of those Vault of Midnights.
Literally, I bought my first compilation of 3 volumes of One Piece from Vault of Midnight, and it's quality. It's quality. But like I said before, comment down below, like the video if you want, subscribe if you feel the need, and the Instagram. I mean, I know you see it on the screen. I also have a website called inshow.com where I'm uploading reactions to anime fights and also One Piece episodes. I'm rewatching One Piece, so those are on inshow.com. So far up there I have, I believe, the first episode up until the end of Attyre. And then I also have, which is also a little abridged version on this channel, Killer Bee versus Sasuke. One of the best fights I've ever seen in my life.
Sasuke is a punk.
I already said what I said. I'll catch y'all. Deuces.
It's just like hold tight through the night. It's a new day coming. Things will be alright. Just like that, man. We going in a snap. So live life full. When it's done, it's a wrap. It's just like hold tight through the night. It's a new day coming. Things will be alright. Just like that, man. We going in a snap. So live life full. When it's done, it's a wrap. Your boy Blak in the building, West Coast riding, East Coast chilling, Midwest singing, down South feeling, sun just shining, backyard grilling. I'm in the